Hello, Nakama, and welcome to the Church of One Piece. I am your pastor, the One Piece apologist, and today I have a review for you of Chapter 1 of the actual story, Chapter 1, Romance Dawn. This is the actual story, beginning Chapter 1. Okay? So, first of all, young Luffy, this chapter mostly centers around young Luffy meeting red-haired Shanks for the first time. Young Luffy says that his punch is as powerful as a pistol. It's not yet, but by the end of the chapter, we see that he grows up and does have the attack, Gum Gum Pistol, which also references just how Luffy kind of names most of his attacks after weaponry. The red-haired pirates tell young Luffy that pirates always have a good time and that pirates always have freedom. And Luffy really takes those lessons to heart, you know. He really, that's the definition of a pirate to him. And so you see that throughout the story, that those particular things are really important to him. Luffy has a treasure tab going at Party's Bar. Party's is the location. It's owned by Makino. And Makino has allowed him to run this treasure tab based on the idea that he's going to go out and become a famous pirate, get enough treasure, and come back and pay her. But I fully believe that Luffy intends to pay that debt. That's just the kind of guy Luffy is. I don't think Makino necessarily expects him to pay it. But, you know, Shanks is like, hey, man, don't swindle her, you know. At the bottom of page 17, we get to see Luffy eating something with a swirly pattern on it. Which, remember, he's just finished a whole meal, free meal given to him by Makino. So it's interesting that he, you know, chose to eat this fruit at this time. But it ends up being the Gum Gum fruit. That's the English name for it. The Japanese name is the Gomu Gomu no Mi. So, you know, what's really interesting there is later we do hear that Higuma has killed 56 people. And 56 is actually a reference to Luffy because 56 in Japanese can be pronounced Gomu, apparently. And so that is a reference to Luffy, and you'll actually see that number used fairly frequently throughout the series, usually in things kind of surrounding Luffy in some way, shape, or form. I will say, would like to note the contrast between Shanks and Higuma the bear. Higuma is the mountain bandit who tried to hurt Luffy. You know, Shanks is kind and fair, whereas Higuma is demanding and ungrateful, you know. Shanks was, like, immediately willing to forgive, like, some serious, like, straight-up disrespect, whereas, you know, a kid was, like, coming after Higuma and being like, hey, don't say that stuff about Shanks, you know, which Luffy wanted to say he didn't care about Shanks anymore because Shanks wouldn't fight back, but, you know, you saw that clearly he wanted to defend Shanks' name. He clearly still cared about Shanks and his reputation, you know. But Higuma was not willing to even forgive this child, no matter if he was offered money or anything, you know? So it's just an interesting contrast between those two characters, for sure. It's great to see, you know, Luffy watch Shanks demonstrate true manhood, which is, you know, by keeping a level head and not getting into a fight that just wasn't worth it. It's you know, as he says, like, unnecessary violence isn't what makes a man, and I think that's so true, and it's a great lesson for young men to learn, I think. So I think it's particularly great to see a pirate actually, you know, tout those beliefs. So it's pretty cool. Shanks always shows up right at the right moment. It's a thing. You'll see it happen throughout the series. No idea why, but he's always there in the perfect moment. Obviously, because it makes it awesome. But you know, it's just a really fun thing to see him show up when needed. His first mate Ben Beckman is so awesome. the whole beating up all the guys with the rifle, putting out his cigarette on the guy's face, it was way too cool, way too cool. And let's see. Yeah, as Lucky Roo proved, don't point a gun at someone unless you're willing to use it. Guns aren't for threats, as they say, and I think again that's true in real life. Um, don't escalate a situation when it doesn't need to be escalated, and so you point a gun at someone, you better be ready to use it. Otherwise, you could quickly get a gun pointed at you and it's done, right? Um, so also, they say that pirates don't fight fair, and that is very true. I love that they're and they're willing to fight when they need to fight to protect what is important, but not unnecessarily, and all that. I do love that the Lord of the Coast, the Sea King that takes Shanks's arm, looks kind of like the eels, Flotsam and Jetsam from Little Mermaid, since they did actually come out both in the 90s. I think that it is possible that Oda was actually drawing his inspiration from those eels, which I think is very funny and fun to see. So yeah, and then it's when Luffy declares to Shanks that he's going to be the king of the pirates. Shanks gives him the straw hat, and I think that something about Luffy's like optimism in that statement really made Shanks go, "Yeah, I see something in this kid. I believe in this kid. I think he can do something, and so I think that's really cool and that's really important. Also, last thing I'll say is just Luffy says that for his crew, 10 people should do it. Love that he wants to just keep it small, just like Shanks, and just like I think real friendship should be, choosing quality over quantity, and just finding really good people to surround yourself with, Well, that's all for today, for this review. One Piece be with you.